All right, so Green Black Oven. This has become a fan favorite for Historic here on the stream. It's what I've been enjoying as well. Today, we are going to kick the tires on a few copies of Wayward Swordtooth here, which is, you may play an additional land on each of your turns. It can't attack unless you have the City's Blessing, which means you have 10 or more permanents. So this deck, because of all the food it tends to generate, and like Trail of Crumbs, tends to have a lot of permanents in play. So this card ascends pretty easily. This deck also tends to have more lands than it can play out, especially early, because of Trail of Crumbs drawing lots of cards. So this can help us get more lands into play and then be a real threat that can beat people down. So in theory, this card sounds very good. Let's go ahead and dive on in and play some games with it and see how things go. Yeah, I wasn't sure if Midnight Reaper was necessary. It's the card I ended up trimming, but sure. I think it was Midnight Reaper or maybe something else. Again, I don't keep exact change logs of everything that I play. You can always find deck lists that we played in the past historically in the description of my YouTube videos on my YouTube channel. So if you ever want to say, hey, what did Jeff do between this iteration and the previous iteration, just starting up there is a good place to do it. This start is not particularly good against mono blue. Drawing a second 5-drop here when we already need to draw lands is a pretty big issue. I guess I'm just passing and like making a food here. Creamy McCrunch, thank you for the half a year. I appreciate that. Welcome back. Oh, I actually added a land. I went up a land because we added Wayward Swordtooth. So that's peak magic is adding a land and then immediately stumbling in your first game. Alright, I'm done. It's all, the Bant deck has put us on a downward spiral, chat. It's not looking good for our hero here. Got a couple of Ceratops on the board, that's good. Some cheap removal spells sound good. Journey from Eternity is probably not good against the deck with bounce spells and exile removal. Rage out of land. I think we're playing like 25, right? Yeah, 25 is plenty. Cavalier is probably a little bit too clunky here. Especially if I'm bringing in Massacre Girl. This is better for cleaning up anyways. This seems fine. Let's do it. I can't put it in my memoirs at 25. It's got so many other mana sources. And up next is all Grixis. We're cruising for a bruise it. Oh no. Chat, we're only 3 matches away from Diamond. I was really hoping to get to the Diamond 4 rank floor today. The loving embrace is the Diamond 4 rank floor. I'm actually not accepting a Pioneer build around for Heliod and the other thing until we know if it's going to be legal or not. It could be something that they could reasonably preemptively ban something from. I mean, Magic's got a lot of variance in it. You can't just, like, pick a deck and say, hey, we're gonna win. That's not how Magic works. I think this deck's very reasonable. I think the next decks are also very reasonable. I don't think so, extras, but they've also never beta tested a format before. So, you know, here's hoping it's a brave new world. This is, starts like this are a good example of why 3 of this card might be too many. Like, in the games where you don't hit your lands early and often, and you don't have Trail going to provide that steady flow of lands, this card seems real embarrassing. Heliod combo is also much better than this Heli combo too, right? Yeah, it's easier to splash. It's easier to splash, and the cards individually are better and go into more things. Feels magic, man. I think that would be a huge mistake, extras. I think starting like that would be a terrible precedent to start with in our new format. I really, really hope they don't historically do what they've done, which has been awful. Let's not ban the thing that we know is going to be an issue. Let's let the format be a stain for a little while instead. It's a terrible system. It's one they really need to move away from. Untapped land. Untapped land. Untapped land. Come on. Come on. Magic sucks and then you die. Alright, I'm gonna cut the 3rd Swordtooth after that game, because when we have Trail, we can find the 2 copies of Swordtooth. That's just so bad when we stumble. I don't even know what I want to add. I just don't want 3 of them. You just play a trophy in the main. I'm not playing a 26 land, chat. Stop it. This is not a 26 land deck. I get that you're Twitch chat and we just stumbled and died twice and you feel real bad about it, but we make decisions based on math around here. See, still think we should add a land? Rage, cut a land. Ah, Jeff, why? Why do you let us get hurt like this, Jeff? Don't you love us, Jeff? Master Neo, I really need you to try harder. I feel like I've timed you out more than almost anybody else on this channel in the last while for like making really lazy card suggestions. In fact, I'm gonna make a note to go back and look. But please start putting some effort in. I believe in you. You are capable of making good suggestions. I'm gonna kill this now, and then next turn we can go Swamp, Cat, make a food. I guess I could also just go Swamp, Murderous Rider, because then I bounce with this. That's probably better, huh? Let's do that. I guess can't make a food lets me fog the Lovestruck Beast. What's going on, Basic Lands? Thanks for keeping me around. Hope you're having a good one wherever you're at. Let's get you a sword to go with that shield. Alright, so what's the plan here? Journey gives me some sequencing decisions. You want me to journey the goose? That's an interesting thought. I like that, actually. Yeah, let's journey the goose and play the cat. I guess if they just don't attack with these, they only attack with this, that's bad for me, though. But I guess if they're not attacking with anything, that's good for me. I think we've died. I think we've died. Yikes. Alright, Noxious Grasp is great. Trophy's great. Massacre Girl's great. Ayara's not particularly good here. Journey's not particularly good here. Swordtooth might actually be okay. Accelerating a little bit seems fine here. I probably don't need the tokens from Desecrated Tomb against the Stompy deck, huh? They don't block anyways. Let's try this. If you goose the Journey, we get a food when the goose comes back. Because Journey returns the thing to play that you put Journey on. Well, Rider's not a replacement effect. Wait. Rider is a triggered ability. So Rider actually goes to your graveyard. It's not a replacement effect. Its hand has double tapped lands, but with Goose, Trail, Massacre Girl, I think this is a keep. And then we're pretty likely to hit our third land on 3, knock on wood, because we get to go Trail, use Goose, eat a food, look at 2, grab a land. And then our goal here is to light curve out into this Massacre Girl. That's really good. Jeff, I want to play with the peasants. Is that appropriate? If so, could you do me a favor? I'll report back to duty after a timeout. Thanks for the biddies. Hope you're having a wonderful start to your new year, Tuptome. They draw a card now? That's really good. I get to kill their board though here, right? So that's nice. So can't draw a card there. Okay, so I let this first trigger resolve. And now in response to this trigger, I sack this, which then puts another trigger on the stack. Okay, so now I get a food out of it this way. Okay. The exact count on this is a little bit tough because, like, I did lose my goose, but, like, the goose drew a card off of its food, so, like, it's kind of like 6 in one hand, half dozen in the other type situation. Yeah, I actually did that 2 days ago. It was on Tuesday I did that. I forgot to let the first trigger resolve before using the oven. It was not a good scene. Trail of Crumbs is absurd. Big agree. Narpox, thank you for the very generous tier 2 resub and for the 11th month at that. Thanks for keeping me around. Hope you're having a good one wherever you are. Okay. I say that's actually pretty scary, huh? This isn't trample though, right? It's just reach. Yeah. That's the droid we wanted for Christmas. And that's the cat we wanted for Christmas. Yeah, oven lets me get some redos in here, right? Nice wild boar preserver would be a shame if we had a cat, right? That's punishing for not killing this. Blue-white tempo seems like a good deck. As for that specific deck, the hero aspect of it seemed quite bad. As always, you can get my full thoughts in the wrap-up segment at the end of the video. There's also a rant right before the wrap-up segment. It was a little delayed, but you know, details. I mean, if they Galta, do I really care? So, like, this is a reason not to kill the Preserver, chat, because the Preserver is getting fogged by the Wildborn Preserver here. So, saving my removal for a card that has evasion, like Trample or this, is ideal. Too many shillings can't handle big numbers. Can we bump a rank? You know, they gotta be organic. To give you context, someone told me to shut up and dribble this morning, was the topic of the rant queue. I think we had a clear with Cat and Massacre Girl. Now there's no way, we didn't have 8 things in play, right? We had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It's not a clear. Though they didn't actually say shut up and dribble. You know, when they tell the people that play the sports ball to not have political opinions. That's what they did. That's what I meant. That's real big. So we can bring the cats back with the trigger on the stack is what we're talking about here, right? Can we clear a 13-13 Galta with Is it possible to clear a Gulta with this Massacre Girl? I feel like that would be a feat, huh? I feel like we might be able to. So we'll block here, and then we'll take 5. And then, yeah, we'll cook Massacre Girl, we'll cook Cauldron Familiar. And then I'm gonna bring this back now, so I can draw a card. And then we'll make a food with this. Then I have 2 food left over. All right, that's good. So we go Massacre Girl. We just play her out, right? Okay, so this is 2 more triggers. So I'm gonna go ahead and bring back a Cauldron Familiar. Pay. Get a land, sure. Yeah, blood for the blood god is accurate here. All right, so this comes into play, and then I get to go cook the Cauldron Familiar, trigger Massacre Girl, cook the Cauldron Familiar, trigger Massacre Girl. Okay, so these are 2 more triggers left, so this is gonna die. This will be a 3/3, this will be a 2/2. So if I put these cats back into play, we kill the Gulta. All right, we killed a 13/13 Gulta with Massacre Girl. I don't know if this deck is good, but it's definitely great. You ever wonder why the dinosaurs went extinct, chat? You ever wondered why the dinosaurs went extinct? Oh, nom 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 nom. Achievement unlocked, the 13th Massacre. Alright, so land, Noxious Grasp, Murderous Rider, attack for 4. I already played a land, right? So I can just pass here. Yeah, I'll just pass. Yeah, and like they have Great Henge going, but Great Henge just does not compete with Trail of Crumbs, right? It's just not close. Because I have another rider. I like that their mythic can't compete with our uncommon. Yeah, to be fair, my uncommon is backed up by a second uncommon. By 2 other uncommons. It's the trifecta of uncommons. 3 uncommons equals the mythic standard bulk trade philosophy. Yep. Are they dead? I feel like they're dead. I think I'm okay. I think I'm gonna click submit. Feel like I'm gonna click submit. I won't click submit. Alright, need to draw some lands, but good otherwise. Yeah, we're in for that, right? That lets us Massacre turn sooner. Like, sets us up to turn 4 Massacre. Go tap land Goose next turn. Well, they're doing nothing of importance, so I guess we just get the oven going. We just start, like, making food here. Hey, chat, what do you think? Is this board primed for a massacre, chat? Is this board primed for a massacre if you ever saw one? It's always primed for a massacre, yep. These two die, so 1, 2, yeah. Am I putting the oven into play? Yeah, like I'm putting the oven into play, right? They've had enough. Alright, 2 more. 2 more. Gotta get on the scoreboard, chat. Let's run it out. The loving embrace of the Diamond 4 ranked floor is so close. Gosh, if we hit an untapped land next turn, we get to jam the Journey on this Cauldron Familiar and just, like, take him to Pound Town. Man, are they playing a flash deck? I added a 25th land to this deck. Doo-da, doo-da. We added a 25th land to this deck. Oh, the doo-da day. Do-do-do-do-do. Do-do-do-do-do. And we're playing against Flash. Magic really sucks. The control button toggles full control mode. Control shift toggles it on for permanently until you toggle it off. I mean, we have Geese too. This deck is 29 mana sources, chat. Everybody keeps ragging on my 25. There are 29 mana sources in this deck. It's even more unfortunate than 26 lands later. Maybe they have nothing left. Go back to standard blue-green flash. Nobody loves you here. Trying to get away from people like you. People like you are ruining it. They're just so low on cards. I don't know. Do I feel like playing this match out? It's a tough. I feel like my threshold for playing against this is pretty low. Yeah, I guess if we hit a Black Source, we play Ayara, and we get to Cat and Journey, maybe. I'm done. I'm gonna concede the match. I just don't feel like playing this match of Magic. The play patterns against these flash decks, they're just so miserable. I don't really care. And like, your rank when you're laddering up is irrelevant to your rank in Mythic. So like, I want to finish in the top 1200 again this season. But like, the matches that we win or lose in Platinum and Diamond don't contribute to that. So let's just play Magic to have fun. Thanks for the 2 years, Kazunti. I appreciate that. Welcome back. Thanks for keeping me around. Life's too short, chat. You actually only get a free roll when you first cross the threshold. So if we lose this match, we do go down. This is not a free match, as someone in chat implied. Yeah, something that's really brutal to think about is I would expect counter spells and removal to likely be overpowered for the next year in Magic, because when R&D designed and tested the sets that we're about to be playing with, they thought Veil of Summer was going to be legal. So they printed cards that were proportional power level to Veil of Summer. So it is very likely that counter spells will be overbearing until Veil of Summer wasn't supposed to rotate till September, right? I should do this now because I could draw a 1 mana card. We play lands. Weird. Weird. Who knows, Swingy? It's hard to predict exactly what they'll do. But I'm probably playing some kind of Steel Overseer deck. All that glitters. Yeah, that makes sense. It's a big angry Ornithopter. Get rid of that one. Hey, thank you for the 22 months of support, Sunhouse. 4th land and a goose, chat. And a goose. We haven't really played a game where Wayward Swordtooth has gotten to do its thing yet. Oh, Skilled Animator is legal in this format. That's neat. Yeah, it's similar to the Pioneer Scissors deck without scissors. Very interesting. Oven is perfect here. Our tomb gives us an endless supply of bats to block this. That's an Amber Alert right there. Oh, belly. We've not played any of the Neoformed Elf decks in Pioneer, no. So I think I do this now because we could hit a land. I haven't played a land yet this turn. Perfect. And then I get to loop this and make another bat next turn. Got our defenses appropriately set up here. Yeah, and like, I could have killed the animator too if we didn't have the Desecrated Tomb, but the fact that I like don't have to do that, I just get to like sit here and do this is great. Looking for like Ayara at this point so we can drain them out extra quickly. Massacre Girl and Cavalier also good in terms of locking up the board. So Journey flips over here, brings the cat back. Want to just hold up Murderous Rider so this thing doesn't get a surprise pump and kill us? Yeah, I feel like we're in garbage time at this point. I feel like I could play loose and lose this game, but if I play well, this game should just pretty much be over.
I will defend my allies. Oh, say hello to my little friend.
No, that's the other card you're thinking of. That's not the card that stops artifacts. There's too many cards. Aren't there like 2? I think there's 2. Is 2 too many? So it depends on who you ask. Is 2 a lot? Cards, yes. How do I see which skill? Oh, targeted Ornithopter. Okay, so we'll sacrifice this. And we'll kill that. And then we'll just go ahead and pass back again here. Well, actually, I guess these can pressure this, huh? Yeah, that seems good.
Your efforts are futile.
This card is not liberated. He's wearing pants. This is corporate card.
Are you certain of your decision?
Mox does not produce colorless with card out. Colorless is not a color. Unless Wingding, unless you're a Thought Knot Seer, colorless is not a color. Yes, yeah, you can oven Cav to journey it back is accurate. That's usually a go over the top play that's like unnecessary because they're dead before that point, but yeah. The old attack me and I gain 8. Yeah, we've been in garbage time for a little bit here. Since like yesterday, yep. And just to make sure my opponent understands what's going on here, we're gonna kill their board before we kill them. Flexing like Machamp there. Oh, nothing is safe. Thrashing Brontodon sounds great here. Trophy sounds great here. Ayara seems probably unnecessary. Is this a Cavalier matchup? It's probably a Cavalier matchup. They probably have Brazen Borrower, which makes Journey worse. Desecrated Tomb seems excellent. Swordtooth trades with 5/5s on the ground, which seems fine. Okay, let's try this. That's true. That was another... That was a would have killed Gulta. For sure. It was fine, Top 10 Hammer. As always, you should go listen to Past Jeff in the wrap-up segment for thoughts on a deck. Sure, Cat, Oven, Goose, Massacre Girl. Need some lands, but pretty reasonable. I'm gonna hide my camera and take my teeth out really quick and eat some lunch here while we wrap this deck up for the next half hour, 45 minutes or so. Steel Overseer's gotta die. That'll get their squad out of Massacre Girl range, I think, even with Cat Oven to back it up. So, just clear that out right away. More cats for the slaughter here. Rip a land next turn, we can clean the board out probably. Well, shoot. Okay. So now we have to draw land. I think if we draw a land, we can kill this, right? Yeah, because it'll get smaller when their other artifacts die. Right, I mean, like, as far as non-land draws go, that's towards the top, right? Yeah, Emery's gonna let them recast Steel Overseer here, which is scary. So I need to draw a land still next turn, but at least we're not dead anymore. So they didn't put Kaladesh into Historic, but Historic includes every set or every quarter. Historic gets 20 direct to Historic cards injected into it. And Ornithopter was one of the 20 direct to Historic cards. So I should eat my goose here, probably. Get that food. Almost missed it. There, pausing for their trigger was good enough for me, though. I don't think they gave us an official timeline on when we get the new cards. But I would imagine they'll probably put them in like halfway between each set release. Like standard hype tends to hit a lull like halfway to 2/3 into a set release. Yeah, they said every quarter, but they didn't give us dates in every quarter, Moxan. So, like, every quarter could mean 2 weeks before the next set release, a month before the next set release. You know, dead smack dab in the middle. Like, we don't know that detail. Yeah, but March 2020 is not a date either, right? Like, it's like I said, that's a 4-week range. Finally. Is this a secret layer sleeve or something else? Anyone know? Secret layer makes sense. Good lord, where are my lands? Where are our lands, chap? Alright, I don't think I can play around a shock here. Sick. Look at that. We'll build our own 4th land deck. With blackjack and hookers. Yeah, Massacre Girl kills the Phoenix Egg too. It's fine. I think we're gonna beat this Embercleave. If we can draw a flipping 4th land, we can beat this Embercleave. And I get 2 shots at it, right? Because this throws a card here too. Perfect. Eggs, it's what's for breakfast. Yeah, the opponent was also stumbling here too, which is good for us. We're probably super favored from here. Yeah, Massacre Girl has just been absolutely absurd at every point today. BTE was playable in Standard. There was a like 1-drop aggro deck that played it. Naya Blitz. If you want to see what BTE and Standard look like, Google Naya Blitz. Magic Naya Blitz. What's the deck that it was called? Should there be 4 Massacre Girls in the main deck? I feel like every game we're just like, how about 4 Massacre Girls? How about 4 Massacre Girls? No, Drillbit's for combo and control, not aggro. It's a good draw. Yeah, moving our main deck 5-drop split to 3-2 in the other direction is probably fine and appropriate. So we'll play this. We'll get to chump block, giant, and then we'll sack, bring it back. Alright, so... I guess if I play Thrashing Brontodon, we're not dead to cleave. That's probably what I'm supposed to do, huh? Oh, this is bad. Oh, I'm dumb. This makes my Massacre Girl play worse. I should have chump blocked the Questing Beast. I was thinking I could sack this twice to kill these, but this gets bigger when this dies, which is what I forgot here. So, we're probably gonna lose this game. So I messed up. The trample's not relevant. The fact that it's now a 4/4 and I can't kill it with Massacre Girl is the relevant part. Yeah, so I played around Embercleave, but then that block meant that we were dead. It's unfortunate. Can't beat Embercleave anymore anyway, so we'll just bottom that. So, if I'd have blocked better, I'd be at a higher life total right now. Well, shoot. Sequencing opponent, sequencing. This doesn't do anything, right? Yeah, I can draw a card. I mean, the other option is dying, so drawing a card's probably fine. We're just dead, right? Yeah, we're just dead. I messed that game up real bad. Worth noting, if Massacre Girl had been a... Yeah, I think I'm going to split these 3-3. If Massacre Girl had been a Cavalier there, we'd win that game, right? So, you have to let the first Massacre Girl trigger resolve before you can sack the cat to get Massacre Girl triggers, because Massacre Girl's subsequent triggers don't happen until her first one happens. Yeah, so. If I had left myself with slightly more life there by making better blocks with that Brontodon earlier in the game, we would have been okay. I could sack the girl to get the last trigger. 1, 2, 3. Okay, yeah, that's actually, yeah, that works, right? Does she trigger on herself dying? Is that how that works? I don't actually know offhand. She triggers on herself dying? Okay, yeah, so that was the line then. Okay, so I was super in that game with the correct line. I got you, Monster Man. I'm paying attention. Oh, I ignored your how's this deck feeling so far because I hate questions like that. Deck sucks. That's why we're playing it for the 3rd historic day in a row. Is that the answer you want? Yeah, it gives me food to bring the 2 cats back as well. Yeah, we were super in that game if I sacked the Massacre Girl to itself. Yeah, because I have 2 foods and then I have Trail as well. I don't know why they printed this card in this format. This card is such a giant stain. It's either unplayable or obnoxious. There's just no in between. It's just deeply offensive. I'm excited to get Embercleave next turn. Shouldn't have punted the second game, I guess. I guess if they don't have Embercleave, we're in an okay spot here, huh? You just need a Massacre Girl to clean things up. Yeah. Trail of Crumbs would also be good to help us dig a little bit. I'm pretty sure they're not going to reprint Nykthos. They spoiled that 4-mana artifact that has Nykthos' effect on it. That, believe it or not, putting that effect on a 4-mana card's a lot more balanced rather than a land. I think my health total is going to be under enough duress here that I actually just want to eat this extra food from the goose this turn. Especially if I just don't draw a land here, or if I just draw another land and don't draw a spell. That's basically like drawing a land. So treading water until we can rip a Massacre Girl, or until they can rip an Embercleave. That's a land that gains us life at least, is exactly correct. Bone Crusher, sure. If I eat this, they lose Bone Crusher Giant. Now, I think I'd rather gain more life here. Oh my god, I just clicked past. Oh god. That's such a huge mistake. Alright, let's draw Massacre Girl, huh? Oh. I don't know why they would play this out. Like, our only out here is Massacre Girl. That has nothing to do with the days at all, Pelly. Just clicking and talking and reading at the same time. I mean, like, their card wouldn't even matter here if I, like, had a Massacre Girl, right? I think the game just ends on the spot. Alright, so we're dead next turn, right? Are we? I can bring this back, go to 6. I can say block here, block here, block here. I'm taking up to 10. We could hit Massacre Girl on Castle and cast it this turn, right? I believe. Because I can, I have 4 and then 5 here. It's a fitting end. And again, like, there's something we talked about earlier today too. Like, games like this feel really bad, but one of the things you have to think about when you're playing Magic, and this is one of the reasons why I think Magic is such best suited for a best of 3 game, is in a match like that, where you can't just focus on the 3rd game that you lost, where you didn't have any meaningful decisions. You have to focus on the fact that, like, game 2, I missed a line to lose the game, right? Like, game 2, if I see the line to sack my Massacre Girl to the oven to kill their Rampaging Ferocidon, I think we're like 99+% to win, because we had 2 cats and the Trail of Crumbs going still, and they were on nothing. So, like, there's a lot more to a match of Magic than just, like, the 3rd game where you got unlucky and couldn't do anything. A lot of the times when people complain about, well, there was nothing I could do in the game, that might be true, but frequently there was something you could have done in the match to impact the outcome. Hey, thanks for the brand new Tier 1 sub-team forecast. I appreciate that. Welcome to Hooglandia. We're going to play one more with this, and then we're going to take a quick break while I run to the restroom, and then we're going to come back with some Grixis Spectre. Correct, yeah. If I hadn't missed the line, there wouldn't have been a game 3 for me to mess up in. This matchup's probably tough for us. A lot of people haven't been playing Kisses Combo. I would bet that we're just going to get dumpstered here. This is the type of linear non-interactive deck that, like, really messed this deck up when we tried it in Historic. I'm actually just not gonna bother playing this match. I'm gonna just find a match that's, like, we can actually be competitive in. I don't think this deck is constructed as the tools to be competitive here. Yeah, I guess we could just jam some Leyline to the board. I don't know. Leyline doesn't even really help that matchup because they have like 4 Tefris. I think we just like hope not to play against it. This is the first time I've queued into Kisses in Historic in a very long time. Damping Sphere doesn't really help there either. All the permanent base disruption, Teferi just sends right back to your hand. We haven't really had a chance to use Swordtooth at all. So maybe we'll see here. This is the first hand where we've had, like, Swordtooth lands and a Trail of Crumbs. Yeah, exactly, Bob. You get it. Bob understands why we're here. Blastzone's pretty good against us. We're gonna get to trigger this next turn. Hopefully they attack us so we can sack this, get this cat in the bin. This is their 3rd turn, right? They're gonna play 11 mana worth of permanents on turn 3. Maybe more than that. They've played 10 mana worth of permanents. They could get a forest and play 4 more. This may sound weird to some of you out there, but I think there's a good chance this card is the card that should have been banned instead of Oko. Believe it or not, I think there is a possibility that this is what should have been banned instead of Oko. I think there's quite a possibility in Standard too that, like, this card was part of the reason why those decks were so pushed. I also think Oko's an incredibly more interesting card than Nissa. I think Oko is a card that generates a lot of interesting game states and it generates a lot of decision trees. I actually like Oko as a card, Bob. Oko's a card that has a lot of modes on it, and modal cards are sweet. I also a big part of the problem with Oko was the fact that you had 1 mana Cryptic Command. This is actually the 4th turn of the game, right? This is the 4th turn? Good golly. Well, I mean, like, that's what, like, there's literally, they played cards in that game, and, like, this is, you know, kind of talks about what formats they love and what formats they don't love and what they care about. Our opponent in that game played cards that aren't legal in Pioneer, right? Like, there's a reason why Leyline got banned in Pioneer. Thanks for the 2/3 of a year, TBS Coke. I appreciate that. Welcome back. We've been talking about Nissa on this stream since before they banned Field of the Dead. So, fuck off. Listen, chat. PG-13 gets 1 F-bomb. I don't tag things on SFW for 1 F-bomb. That's not how this works. I have no idea, Chur. I don't really like to speculate on stuff like that. So unsure if they have R&D working on Historic or if it's purely... Yeah, and like, as far as like, you killed something with removal, and like, what the leftovers are, like, Nissa tends to leave better leftovers than Oko did. Yeah, but like, that's the entirety of Magic, Bob. Like, Magic cards, good Magic cards invalidate other Magic cards. Like, 3 mana Teferi invalidates entire swaths of cards. Good removal spells invalidate entire swaths of cards. You can't just say something invalidates cards, so you need to get rid of it. I mean, yeah, like, 3 mana Teferi's horrible, but like, Lightning Bolt invalidates cards. I don't think there's an inherent problem with Lightning Bolt as a card. Every playable Magic the Gathering card renders other weaker cards unplayable. I don't think there is. Wait. When the context is how you build and how things play out in the format, it's the same, right? Like, for people that don't remember, like, when Lightning Bolt was legal, or like, we refer to things as like the Jace test, when Jace the Mind Sculptor was legal, or like when Bolt's legal, it dictates all the creatures that are playable in the format. That's just how it works.
In this land, we are all connected.
I think its power level is too high for Pioneer. I disagree. I think Oko's power level in Pioneer and people having issues with it is directly related to this card as well as this card. I'm interested to see what happens on the 6th but I think there's a very real possibility that Land War Elves and Elvish Mystic in these non-rotating formats become like Mishra's Workshop is in Vintage, where instead of just banning the card that makes too much mana too fast, they just keep banning the payoffs around those cards. I wonder how many green cards they will ban instead of just banning these cards that let you play them way ahead of curve. Yeah, correct. Like, it's such a like a big storm critical mass, right? Like, you couldn't kill them efficiently because they would counter you. You can't play ahead of them because they accelerate out ahead of you. Yeah, I mean, like, so an important thing to remember though, when Birds of Paradise was in every core set, Magic was a different landscape, right? Like, look at what the average threat looked like when Birds of Paradise was in. Look at what the average threat in Magic looked like when Birds of Paradise was in every core set. Like, the threats were night and day different. Oh, did we die? I think we died. Yeah, you were ramping out Sarah Angels and like Volcanic Dragons. We're not actually dead yet, right? I can gain 2 more off of this, and this gains 2. Oh no, it gives. Oh, this gives 10-10. I was like, wait, I thought we were dead somehow, but yeah, that's how. Feels dead, man. That was a tough set. I think this deck, that set felt a lot like, let's articulate. If this format moves to being more like Pioneer, which there is a very real chance that this format moves to being more like Pioneer. Like, I know that we played a couple of cards different, but I don't think those cards we played different were really super meaningful. I think there's a chance that this deck does have a shelf life, because if this format becomes more linear and less interactive, a deck like this is very, very bad. This deck is reasonable because it can outgrind control and mid-range decks, and against aggressive decks that are just attacking you, the Cauldron Familiar package, along with Murderous Rider and Massacre Girl and Cavalier of Night, allow you to stabilize there. However, if the format moves towards more decks like Kisis Combo or Ramp, like we just played against, like is very popular and present in Pioneer so far, those types of matchups will be very challenging for this. When we tried porting this deck to Pioneer, it really struggled because we played a bunch of those matchups. Thanks, Narla. Yeah, so when the Magic's about being interactive, I don't think this deck really has much that keeps up with it, but when the Magic is not about that, it has a really hard time. All right, what are we doing? We got 2 Grixis decks to wrap things up today. Hopefully we can hit a good run with one of these and find our way to the Diamond 4 rank floor home. We got Grixis Spectre up next with Hypnotic Spectre, one of the cards direct to Historic. I am going to hit a quick ad break while I get flipped over. Whoa, we just had a big host? Or did Twitch freak out? My activity list. My activity list doesn't show a host. Maybe Twitch is just being weird. I am just getting ready to take a quick break before we play this Grixis deck. And when I get back from the restroom, we're going to jam some games with this. Thanks for hanging out today, folks. Don't go anywhere.